What's going on, wonderful people? It's your old buddy Big Rob with another episode, Big Rob's House of Entertainment, and absolutely no Chinese food. It is a beautiful, sunny day today. It is hotter than the son of a gun, but every once in a while we get a nice breeze blowing through, and that's wonderful, beautiful. Today is part 2 of my Canon Films box set review. Today I'm going to talk about the 1986, sure we'll call it a classic, Cobra, starring Sylvester Stallone. I don't know. Stallone was the main character. Marion Cobretti, also known as Cobra. Obviously, we know Sylvester Stallone. He was Rocky in the Rocky movies, John Rambo in the Rambo movies. He's Barney in the Expendables. He's also on the new show Tulsa King. Bunch of other stuff. The Italian Stallion. Some creepy porn back in his early days, from what I heard on the internet. Hey, I don't know. No judgment. Tulsa King looks pretty interesting. I haven't watched an episode or anything yet, but I've seen some clips online. Looks like it might be pretty good. He's like a aging mafioso that gets out of jail, decides to go back into the life or something. Like I said, it looks interesting. I don't know. So anyway, I have to check that out. The other players in here, Ingrid is played by Brigitte Nielsen. Brigitte Nielsen, of course, most famous, at least to me, for Red Sonja. If you want to know more about her, know more about that, check out episode 24. Shameless self-plug. The main bad guy, the Night Slasher, as he's called, played by Brian Thompson. He's been in a ton of different movies, a lot of bad guys and stuff. Mostly I know him from, and where a lot of you guys know him from the first 2 Mortal Kombat movies, he plays Shao Kahn. And at no point in this film did he yell, "Finish him!" Even though that would have been awesome. But, you know, it was a different franchise, so why would he? I don't know. So the movie does not have a real, it's a shoestring plot, all right? It's an 80s action movie, right? So it's like the epitome of 80s action movies. There's a bad guy with an army of psychopaths that like to kill people. There's a good guy who's a rogue, not rogue, but a cop that plays by his own rules, played by Stallone, obviously. And then there's a beautiful woman, Ingrid, Brigitte Nielsen. She's a supermodel / businesswoman, so, you know, she's got it all. And so the bad guys, they kill people. Brigitte Nielsen, Ingrid, she sees the main bad guy, the Night Slasher. She didn't actually see him kill anybody, but he had just committed a murder, and she's seen him. So in his mind, I mean, she's got to die, and I mean, why not, you know? And of course, she manages to get away the first couple times they try to kill her, and she goes to the cops, and Stallone, being the cop that plays by his own rules, decides to take her on to a safe house. They go on the run, and so then you got mayhem, death, destruction, explosions, motorcycles, car chases, boats, you know, 80s stuff. Romance. The bad guy dies, and the credits roll. And it, you know, it's 87 minutes, but you know, that's basically the gist of the movie. So this movie, it's 87 minutes long, was originally a little over 2 hours long, and 30-40 minutes of it got cut out due to excessive gore and violence. This movie was almost rated X. They had to pull all of that stuff out just to get it down to an R rating. And I'll be perfectly honest, by today's standards, it's actually fairly tame, but mid-80s, apparently it was pretty gruesome. There was apparently scenes of like people's hands getting cut off and stuff. I don't know. I haven't seen that version. Supposedly there is a rough cut of that floating around the internet. I didn't go looking for it. You guys let me know if you do, if you find it interesting or not. The movie starts out, the bad guys gang is all in this dark area, and they've all got axes, and they're clanging them together for some reason. I thought I was watching Kung Fu Hustle for a minute or two, because, you know, the axe gang. Anyway, the bad guy one of the bad guys goes in and shoots up a grocery store to start this thing out. And Stallone sneaks in, moves around, kills the bad guy. And the first thing that happens when he gets outside is he gets hounded by reporters. What, are you sure you handled this right? Are you sure you wasn't too violent? Which goes to show you that even in 1986, 40 years ago, the media was trash. The news was garbage. And that's as political as I get. I'm through. I'm going on past this. But anyway, Stallone, Cobra, drives a really awesome 1950 Mercury custom ride. Awesome looking car. Apparently it was a car that he actually owned, and they made some mock-ups that could get destroyed for the movie because they were going to break his car. And the most iconic thing, or two of the most iconic things, are the weapons. Cobra carries a 1911 style pistol with a custom handle with a King Cobra on it. Looks pretty cool, but you find out that it's chambered in 9mm. 1911s are supposed to be 45 ACP. Okay, sorry, that's just how that is. Why in the world they made a 9mm for this thing? But it was custom made for this movie for Sylvester Stallone. I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever. If I'm gonna carry a 1911, I'm gonna carry a 45. But whatever. The other notable thing was the Night Slasher's knife. I want to see if I can find a picture of it, because like this knife was designed for this film. It was actually been used in some other films, but it is like, I've seen this knife so many times at like flea market knife dealers and gas station knife stands. I never knew that this where that knife came from. It was really funny to me because I've seen this knife for years and years, and I had no idea it was designed for this movie. I'll try and find a picture of it and throw it up here somewhere. Brian Thompson, the main bad guy, Shao Kahn, for whatever reason, Warner Brothers and Canon, who co-produced this, they didn't invite him to the premiere. He actually had to buy his own ticket. No idea why. That's just weird. I thought it was interesting. Speaking of the Stallone's car, his 1950 Mercury, I did think it was really cool. His license plate says Awesome 50, which just goes to show how egotistical the character of Cobretti was. Weird things. He's always wearing black leather gloves, which, I mean, I guess while you're working, that's pretty cool. Keeps you from getting sweaty hands, whatever. But he literally goes back to his apartment, sits down, watches TV, pulls a pizza out of the fridge and a gun cleaning kit, starts cleaning his gun, never takes his gun off, opens the pizza box. This is so weird. I love cold pizza. We all do. He opens the pizza box. He's got one slice of pizza left, and he pulls some scissors out and he cuts the end off the pizza and proceeds to eat the end that he cut off. It's so weird. And he's still wearing his gloves. Like, you're gonna get pizza grease on your gloves. I don't know. Anyway, so a couple other things. The Zombie Squad. I don't know if I said that yet. I can't remember. My brain's addled. I'm old. Sorry. But Stallone Cobra is part of what they call the Zombie Squad, which is a task force basically of cops that they go out by themselves. They deal with crazy criminals however they can. They take care of it. Not a real thing in America, but apparently in Belgium, the police department does have a zombie squad. I don't know if they actually call it that or not, but that's where Stallone got the idea of the zombie squad from. I actually think it's kind of cool, but that's me. I just, that kind of thing is interesting. Another weird thing, because that's all I got to talk about, because there's no storyline to talk about, so I'll just talk about the weird things that I've seen in the movie. The ending, the final battle. So they go on the run. They get to this motel out in the middle of, out of town, and they start out in the motel. The bad guys ambush them. They go on the run. They're in a truck, and they go, and all of a sudden they're in an orange grove, or riding down the road past an orange grove, whatever. The truck crashes, so they have to get out, and they're on foot, and they're running through the orange grove. All right, I'm okay with that. The motel was out of town. Out of town is where you find farms where you find orange groves. No problem with that. But literally, they run through the orange grove and ended up in a metal foundry. I don't know why all of a sudden you're in an industrial complex with a metal foundry. And apparently there's only one dude working there, and it's the security guard who gets shot, because there's a lot of people die in this movie. My soul, to my will to live, it died about 37 minutes in, but you know. So anyway, so the final battle takes place first outside in broad daylight, and then inside this metal factory or metal foundry where it's nice and dark, because every 80s movie takes place, the ending battle takes place in a metal foundry, because I don't know, there's chains and hooks and fire and stuff, and it looks really cool, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, so that's Cobra. It wasn't a bad movie per se, but like I said, there's no storyline, or very small storyline. Because of it getting all of the stuff cut out of it, it kind of screws up the storyline. And there's other characters than those three. Just those are the only three that I really cared about. They're really the main characters. So I don't know. I watched it. I can't say that I would recommend it. Unless you are a fan of 80s action movies, then by all means, take a gander at it. You got an hour and a half to kill, go for it. I say this one came out of my box set. I don't know. It's probably available online. I wouldn't guarantee it, but most likely it's somewhere you can get to it and you rent it or whatever. I don't know. So anyway, next time I'll come back with a different canon film. Not sure what I'm going to do next. Probably a Chuck Norris movie, just to get that Sylvester Stallone out of my system. Chuck always delivers. But that's it for me. If you like what you see, make sure to hit like. If you really like what you see, make sure to hit subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video, which I do my level best to drop one every Sunday. Leave a comment, leave a question, tell people about this, because there's only one way I'm going to grow, and that's if we keep telling people about my insane ramblings and crazy antics and stuff. I did start a TikTok channel where some of my YouTube shorts go there, some of my new stuff goes there. Some stuff's going to both places, some's going to one, some's going to the other. So I'm just kind of trying to spread the love and you know, just do a couple of different things. You can find me there, Big Rob's House of Entertainment, no Chinese food there too. Or I think it's big_Rob's_house, you know. Before I get out of here, check for all that. I do want to thank the Clady clan at the Zone Collectables. They're in Tifton, Georgia, 305 Main Street. You can find them online, The Zone Collectables. You can email them, thezonecollectables@gmail.com. They also have a new Roku and Fire TV channel. Well, it's not really new. They've had it for a few months now, so it's getting some really cool stuff going on there. Spotlight Media GA is the channel name. You can definitely search for that and see some stuff. I know they're trying to do some really awesome stuff with some local creators, so I think that's really cool. Give them some love when you get a chance, and most especially, don't forget to check out my brothers Hassel and Monster over at the Nerdy Man Room Show and Hassel's Review. They are on YouTube. They are on Fire TV under Spotlight Media. They're on Roku TV under Spotlight Media. They are also part of the Geek Network, which I believe is geek-network.com. I'll have to double check that, but I think I'm right. Check them out. They are all over social media. I will try and post their social media handles on here somewhere. Definitely give them a shout out. Give them a listen. They're always talking about something cool and nerdy. I actually got to hang out with them this week. We just kind of sat around and talked about nerdy stuff, and I always love hanging out with my guys. But definitely give them some love, and I think that's everything. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Until next time, may the force be with you.